Hello students, a very good day to all of you. So today our topic is metal, non-metal and metalloids and some properties of elements from our periodic table. So let's start to the topic metal, non-metal and metalloids. First of all, what is metal? In chemistry, a metal is an element that readily forms positive ions called cations and has metallic bond. The metals are usually present on the left side of the periodic table, and these are highly shiny and also solid at room temperature. It also has the properties of good conductor of heat and electricity, and, uh, and it is also high malleable and ductile in nature. It also the high melting points because these are the good conductor of heat and electricity, so it has highly melting and boiling points, and it also easily or readily lost electrons. Nonmetals which are present on the right side of the periodic tables, which has very low boiling and melting points. Mainly these are the bad conductor of heat and electricity, and these are tends or capacity to gain electrons in a chemical reactions. Just like metals, as you know, metals are very good appearance, but non-metals are very dull appearance. Metalloids, which has the properties of both metals and nonmetals, so it is called the semi-metals, and these may be also used to make various type of polymers, ceramics and batteries also. These are usually conduct electricity and heat also, and it is used as a very good semiconductor, which are be placed on the periodic table in a zigzag portion, this one in yellow in color. We separate the metals and non-metals. So next one is some properties of elements. There are various types of properties of elements are present. Mainly we classify the elements into two types. One is according to their physical appearance, and second one is according to their chemical appearance. uh, First of all, we start from our physical properties. Some of the physical properties are here given in the screen, that is from atomic size, ionic size, ionization enthalpy, electron gain enthalpy, electronegativity. So we'll go one by one. First of all, we start from our first physical properties, that is atomic size. What is atomic size? We can't measure the size of an atom very easily. It is impossible to calculate the atomic size, but somehow there are some molecules which are formed by the combination of atoms and the bond which are present on the atoms. From according to that, we can calculate some bond length, and from bond length we can also calculate the atomic radius or the size of that atom of an element. Here I am giving an examples where it is a H2 molecules, hydrogen molecules, which is a diatomic molecules. From these examples, we can calculate the atomic size of an hydrogen, where the bond length is from one center of hydrogen atom to another center of hydrogen atom. This one is called bond length. If we half of this bond length, if we can half of this bond length is called the atomic radius of one hydrogen atom. But as I'm saying that there are various type of elements and metals, various type of elements or atoms are present on the periodic tables, so it is impossible to calculate particular the radius of size. But as I am saying that the according depends depending upon the radius. So if a molecule says the covalent radius, first of all, what is covalent molecule, then we will go to the covalent radius. Mainly the size of an atom of a non-metallic elements is to measure the distance between two atoms when mainly they are bonded to a single bond, is called the covalent molecule, and the radius present on that molecules is called covalent radius of the molecules. Here I am giving an examples where the H2 molecules are combines by intermolecular distance, that is by covalent as a covalent radius. Here the half of the distance is called atomic radius. This one is the atomic radius, or you can say the covalent radius of the hydrogen molecules. Here I am giving an examples of metallic radius, because as I am saying that the covalent molecules are formed by non-metallic elements to measure the distance. Here if you want to take any other examples for atomic radius or covalent radius, for Cl2 molecules or chlorine molecules, where the atomic radius is 198 picometer, and the half of the distance, if you distribute the half of the distance, then that will be 99 picometer, and the 99 picometer is taken as the atomic radius for chlorine. Second one is the the metallic radius. Mainly the metallic radius defined as the half of the internuclear distance separating the metals. The radius which separate the metals one from another, the metal core in the metallic crystals, is called the metallic radius. Again I am saying that the metallic radius is defined as the half of the internuclear distance separating the metal core in the metallic crystal, is called metallic radius. If I am giving examples of copper atoms where the copper is in the solid formation Cu2, where the uh, distance is the total internuclear distance is 256 picometer, and the metallic radius will be half, then it will be 128 picometer. Mainly the atomic radius can be calculated depending upon the whether the element is in metals or non-metals. Next one is, let's go to the trend, that is the how to how the atomic radius will be varies along the period and along the group. First we start from period. The atomic size generally decrease across the period, because if we take in the period, then the outer electrons are in the same valence shell, but the effective nuclear charge, that is effective nuclear interaction between the electrons and protons, always increases as the atomic number increase, and as the atomic number increase, the effective nuclear charge also increase, and the force of attraction between the electrons and the outer shell proton will be increases, and the structure will be closely packed, and it will be reduce the atomic size. So along the periods, always the atomic radius or the atomic size decreases. Second one is group. The atomic radius increases regularly across the group. Why it will be regularly increases? Because with the increasing the principal quantum number or the number of cell, that is K, L, M, N, due to increase the number of cell or the principal quantum number n value, the valence electron are further from the nucleus, and it will be increases along the group. If you want to explain in another way, we can take the atomic size or the radius also increases because the inner energy level are filled with electrons, which serve to shield the outer electrons from the pull of the nucleus. When it goes on the along the group, the inner energy level of the electrons which are present nearer to the nucleus, which will be shield the outer electrons to pull towards the nucleus, and it will be increases along the and it will be increases with increasing principal quantum number along the group. So atomic size will be decreases along the periods, and the atomic size will be increases along the group. So next one is the ionic radius. Ionic radius, it may be mainly an atom or an element from an ion it may be a cation or anion. If it will remove an electron from an atom, it will form a cation, whereas if an element gain an electron, it will be form anion. So mainly the ionic radius can be calculated by measuring the distance between cation and anion in ionic crystal. If an crystal is given, then the ionic radius can be calculated by measuring the distance between the cation and anion. So first of all, let's start. What is the difference? What is the atomic radius difference between cation and anion? As I am saying that cations will be formed by the removal of an electron from a neutral atom, then the atomic radius or the ionic size of an cation usually decreases from a neutral atom. If I am taking the anion, as I am saying that anion will be formed by the gain of an electron, where the atomic radius or where the ionic size of anion will be increases due to addition of an extra electron in a neutral atom. So it is concluded that the anionic size usually smaller than the neutral atom, and the cationic size usually smaller than the neutral atom, and the anionic size usually larger than the neutral atom. So let's start. What will be happen in the periodic trends of ionic size? First of all, here I want to say is that from hydrogen, that is group number 1 to 12, it will be these metals are formed mainly cations, and from group 13 to 17, these elements are mainly form anions, because these metals has the tendency to lose electrons, as I am already discussed on the metals and nonmetals, and these elements has the tendency to gain electrons, and it will be form anions. So what will be happen along the period, along these are mainly same with the atomic radius. Along the period, the cationic size will be decreases from hydrogen group number 1 to uh, sorry group number 1 2 3 4 5 6 12, from 12 the atomic the anionic the cationic size will be decreases. From group number 13 to 17, the anionic size will be decreases. Most of all, the boron has the larger anionic size as compared to carbon, nitrogen, oxygen and fluorine. Here is a very important thing is that boron has higher anionic size as compared to carbon. Why it has higher atomic size as compared to uh, carbon? Because boron has boron has 6 electrons and 5 protons, but carbon has 6 electron and also 6 proton. If we calculate as the ratio P by E, that is proton per electrons, then it will be inversely proportional to the size of an atom or ion. Then the boron has larger size than the carbon according to the calculations, mathematical calculation P by E ratio. So boron has higher or larger atomic size as compared to carbon. So this will be higher than the carbons. If we goes on the group, if we take the group wise, that is group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, then along the group the ionic size will be also increases with increasing the uh, atomic number along the group. Along the period from 1 to 12, it will be decreases the cationic size, mainly the cationic size. Then the group 13 has the anionic size, but it has the higher anionic size, then it will be decreases from 17. As we know, these are the noble gases on reactive, so it has no cations and no anions. So along the periods, it will be decreases, and along the group it will be increases. So thank you.